How many are we drawing? No, good Lord, 4. All right. 4 lowland monsters. I just want one of them now to be ambushed so that the eerie silence negates it. Let's see. A pumpkin head. Human cult member. Horde. So if there are any other heretics here, which is fairly likely in the lowlands, he'll attack with a 5 instead of a 4. Highest morale. Oh, well. Fugitive Fop gets someone on him. Demonic Servant. I heartily approve. I endorse 100% the spelling of demon with that diphthong. AE. Rally. So he summons someone with him. Evade and taunt means he has to attack. Highest magic, so it's obviously the Void Witch. He only attacks with a 3. Fairly easy to guard against. And this fella. A Goat Brute. Man, goats, I do not... There is nothing good about a goat, ever. A Goat Brute is berserk, so he will begin with an attack of 6, and then as he calms down, it becomes a 4. The highest morale is the Fugitive Fop. A Verm Corpse. Yeah. Attacking a 4, annoy and drain, so it heals itself up. It's got a point of armor. Highest constitution is, well, everybody gets some. All right, the rally means we draw another monster. Yeah, a Ghost Swarm. Uh-oh, if this is what I think it is. All right, a Ghost Swarm. Yeah, ghostly is really bad news. Fear, also bad news. Dagnabbit. Oh, I wish we hadn't drawn this. So, fear means we're all going to roll morale, otherwise we're stunned the first round. Ghostly means basically all checks that aren't magic are halved. So if I'm rolling against an agility of 7, say, I'm actually rolling against an agility of 4. And that's not much fun trying to get that on 2 dice. All right, the lowest luck, that is obviously the Fishy Confectioner. You know, I blame this wailing ghost child. There we go. All right, this is not a good situation. She's really close to death. Oh, these are gone. She's really not used to tanking. I guess she'll ignore armor. This berserk is bad. All right, let's just see how this goes. This is actually a situation where we might consider fleeing, which would raise the danger level in Witch Hill, but I'm okay with that. Use magic or perception when trying to escape. So agility 7 at any rate. Their agilities of 8 would make an escape relatively easy. There's nobody who stops us. There's no pursue out here. So the problem with running away is the Fishy Confectioner is going to have to make a roll of 7. And we won't know. Yeah, the Fishy Confectioner goes last. So the Fugitive Fop and Void Witch have to try to run away first and probably succeed. And if the Fishy Confectioner fails, he is sitting there with 5 monsters on him. And if he dies as the only one in battle, he's dead, he's gone. So let's see how the first 2 rounds here go. And if it looks like it's going poorly, we'll have the Fishy Confectioner, I was going to say hiding behind her shoddy shield, but that broke. Yeah, if it goes poorly, the Fishy Confectioner will maybe attempt a run. If she succeeds, then these 2 will join her. All right, so obviously we want to be on guard because this looks like we're in it for the long haul. So the Fugitive Fop guarding with her agility of 8. There's the power die goes to the guard. The attack with a perception of 8 will be on... Oh, the Pumpkinhead gets a +1, and the Goat Brute gets a +2, so these are bonuses. So it looks like a fair amount of damage is incoming. Let's go for the Pumpkinhead, because the Goat Brute's going to settle down in a minute. All right, these are both rolls against 8. That is terrible. That is good. That's all right. Shoot. So we have 11 points of damage coming in. This will reduce it to 8. I mean, there's not a lot I can do about it. So 6 here, 5 here, that's 11. We'll use that to guard against 3 of them. So 8 points of damage. Let's see, how close might it be in a good resting place? I could run back to the east bridge. In which case, oh no, sorry. Run back to the watchtower. Yeah, I wish I could run back to the east bridge. That's where we have to take the aristocrat. So I could run back to the watchtower if things go really poorly. But let's survive first. Okay, and then the 5 points of damage. Who did I say? Yeah, I was attacking this fellow, which kills the pumpkin head. So as far as checking how things go, so far so good. Oh, and I didn't specify, but these, remember I said, are loaded by default. So if that had been a 12, they would have been discarded. Oh, and let's see also, yeah, before being dead, the pumpkin head is dazed. Void Witch. Now here's an interesting situation. She only has this demonic servant on her and taunt, so she has to attack it. I mean, that's obvious. I think there's no point raising the Mystic Shield. She just wants to go on the offense. No, she wants to be defensive. Again, we have to be super careful here. So using an agility of 8 for an attack and a defense, the power die is applying to defense. The agility intercepts everything. The attack does 1 point of damage. Over here, the Fishy Confectioner with no shield, rolling with an agility of, so the advantage of not having a shield, her agility is back up to 7. Agility of 7, a strength of 7. Let's attack. Yeah, that ghost swarm is going to be an issue. Let's work on the verm corpse. It heals itself up, right? Yeah, because otherwise we're trying to roll a 4 against the ghost swarm. And oh shoot, a monkey. I forgot to roll for fear. And my morale is so low. All right, this merits backing up. Let's see, the morale here is 8. She succeeded. The morale here is 6. She succeeded. The morale here is... what do I do about that? I mean, it was cocked, and then when I moved it, re-roll it. The morale here is 6. Wow, nobody's afraid. So nobody got feared. Now, if someone had failed, I would have backed up and done their combat over. That's fair, right? All right, so where were we? That's why I should have been doing these. Guard, and guarding against this, agility of 7, strength of 7, power die goes to defense. We have an incoming 3 and 4. The defense succeeded, and also the attack succeeded and does 4 points of damage. If we'd been an assault, we would have ignored that armor point and killed it. And that was a guard. All right, next round. The Goat Brute is no longer a 6. Berserk only applies in the first round. I'm still going to guard. These are both 8s that are required. There is a successful defense against any damage. That is a huge miss. I'm going to guard here. That thing has only got 2 points. These are both against an 8. Defends any damage and does 4 points of damage, which kills it. I'm rushing through this because I think I'm going to be fine. And then guarding here. And then guarding here. Against 7s, trying to finish off the Verm Corpse. This is going to be a pain. Defended against 3, which means a point of damage comes through. Failed the attack. The point of damage that comes through moves the Fishy Confectioner to 7. All right, continuing on. I'm still going to guard. I don't want to take any damage if I can avoid it, because I've only got... Oh, I'm not poisoned anymore. Forget to move our hit point markers up from the people who are no longer poisoned. All right, guarding against the Goat Brute. These are both 8s. We will use the Tranquilizer Darts because why not? Oh, shoot. Okay, that scared me. That's just for defense. Failed the defense, intercepting 4 points of damage because we were guarding. Prevents any damage. 3 points of damage applied. The 6 is not in excess of its remaining hit points and armor, so it is not dazed, and it only takes 2 damage. Oh, ignore a point of armor, so it does take its full 3 damage. Okay, assault so that we can apply the power die. So if anybody had any way to inflict damage that wasn't involving strength or agility or I think perception, basically a magic missile, the Ghost Swarm would be awesome for that, but nobody has that. So let's go ahead and go with the Verm Corpse. Once that's out of the way, we can start trying to roll low enough to kill this Ghost Swarm. So agility of 8, that's a huge success, and that kills the Verm Corpse. All right, now we're down to what I predict is going to be a drawn-out series of rolling and re-rolling and re-rolling and re-rolling, trying to kill that Ghost Swarm. It only has an attack of 3, so I'm confident the Fishy Confectioner can guard against it. She's got the hit points to spare, but actually hitting it is going to be the difficult part. So it's ghostly, so a strength attack, which is what the Spiked Maul does, is reduced to a 4. Remember, in Dungeon Defenders, you always round up. So attacking with a 4, the power die is applied to defense, defends against any damage, misses an attack. All right, the Fugitive Fop will stay in guard mode, rolling against an agility of 8 and a perception of 8. We succeeded admirably at defending. We also did 4 points of damage, ignoring a point of its armor, means that kills it. Rolling an assault. So because it's agility, let me verify. Agility-based definitely means ghostly. Yeah, a roll we're using strength, agility, or perception are halved for the purpose of it to hit. All right, so take these dice out. So it's a 4, again, because an 8 halved is as good as a 7 halved. Missed. A guard. And these are both on 7s. Well, the attack is on a 4. The attack missed. The defense missed. However, it uses the defense die to defend. Fugitive Fop, attacking with a 4. That's a miss. Void Witch attacking with a 4. That's a hit for 3 points of damage. Polite golf clap for the Void Witch. So that's a hit. 3 points is all the damage it can take. That goes here. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we get to do this. Which means Witch Hill is a pretty safe place to rest. All right, 2 experience points here. And 2 gold. 3 experience points here and 2 gold. Oh, I can't wait to rest next round and spend all of this. Wait, 3 experience points, right? And 2 gold. Oh, Fishy Confectioner contributed nothing here. So a loot roll of 3, a loot roll of 2. Here's the 3. That succeeds. Oh, sorry, that was a 2, actually. I needed that failed. Here's the 3, and that failed. No loot for us. But experience points and making Witch Hill safer. We're a little bit battered. One of our options is to just venture ahead into the Witchwood. We're going to have to explore this path. But because the danger level is 4, well, that means we're likely to have an encounter. And if we proceed into the Witchwood, we draw against the 4, we have an encounter with our wounds this way, I don't think that would be healthy. So we are going to rest. And let's rest. There's no reason to rest. The only reason to rest boldly would be maybe we want to pick herbs, get some more witchweed. What does the witchweed do? I think that heals us up a little bit. Now if we rest boldly with a 2, that should be safe. And if we have a fight with a 2, generally one of the ways that the danger deck is balanced, the lower numbers, I believe, are less punishing fights. So let's rest boldly. It'll also, by the way, give us a chance to spend this experience and this experience. So yeah, we're definitely going to rest boldly. So the first thing that happens during the rest is a recovery roll for everyone. We are outdoors. If the Fugitive Fop fails her recovery roll, and she's rolling against an 8, she is accustomed to comfort, so she'll be demoralized. She fails her recovery roll. She is demoralized, but perhaps more importantly, she doesn't heal up as much health. Failed recovery roll means she heals half of her morale, which is 4, so from 8 to 4. The Void Witch with a morale of 6 will not heal any wounds, but she will shake off this infected counter. She failed, but she doesn't heal anything, which she wouldn't have done anyway. The Fishy Confectioner with her morale of 6. What was it doing? Yeah, it's just when we are doing hunting and stealth. If we roll doubles, we fail. By the way, it just occurred to me, one of the advantages of this right here, the Night Cloak, is, if you recall, it's relatively easy to exchange items amongst party members. Everyone else could run off, and then this could be passed over to whoever's remaining. So they would automatically, what is it? You don't have to, oh no, wait. You may use magic or perception when trying to escape. The thing is, our agilities are pretty good, and the person who has the lowest agility, her magic and perception are nothing to write home about either. So, morale for the Fishy Confectioner. Succeeded wonderfully, and the 6 goes to a 1. We are resting boldly, so let's go ahead. It's an explored area. Let's roll to pick herbs, and we will use the Fugitive Fop's perception. Yep. A successful pick herbs action gets us witchweed, and someone will eat it immediately. Make a magic test. If you pass, recover wounds equal to your lowest die. So a magic test. Let's do the Void Witch. She will eat the witchweed first because she is the one who was infected and she has the fewest hit points. So the magic test for the Void Witch is a 9. She failed it. So, and whether you pass or fail, you become fatigued. Fatigue just means we can't fast travel, but we weren't going to be fast traveling anytime soon because we're walking around off the beaten path. Also during this rest action, let's spend some experience points. So, I know that I want to get the Mystic Shield up to its better form because the Void Witch she's kind of tanking for us. She's absorbing a bunch of the attackers. 13 experience points. Oh no, 10. 10 experience points, which puts us from 13 to 3. And now she can use a combat action to charge the Mystic Shield, even if it's not depleted yet. The Fishy Confectioner was waiting for what? I forget what I was going to do. Because she could upgrade one of these. What was the other thing she was waiting for? Gourmet, which lets her eat things to heal up. I actually might take the Gourmet. Yeah, the Fishy Confectioner is going to spend 6 out of 8 experience points to be a Gourmet. The requirement is having a relatively low morale, which she certainly does. And what that means is after a battle in which anyone destroyed, at the end of a fight, you can consume a brute, filth, or goblin that your party destroyed. It involves a Constitution check, which is not that great. And she can poison herself if she fails. But, let's see, when it improves, it just allows her to eat humans. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get that in. We do want to be a Gourmet. And the Fugitive Fop. This is what we were waiting for. Deadeye, I think it's, what is it? Deadeye Shot. Deadeye Shot costs 13 experience points. You must be a hunter, militant, or wild. Oh, shoot 'em up. Oh, right. We get to take it because she is a dilettante. So when you improve, you may learn any skill that requires fighter, hunter, so on. Place that skill on this card. While it's there, you always meet the skill's requirement. You cannot master the skill, which is fine. So Deadeye Shot as a quick action, that would be nice. You may swap the value of a power die with the value of one of your attack dice. You cannot call a Deadeye Shot on Ooze, Swarm, or Ghostly. You guys help me remember that. And that will cost us 13, right? We have to pay full price, of course. It's not like we get it free. So from 16 down to 3. Let's see. We looked for herbs. We recovered. We improved. That's all that we can do during this rest action. Let's now draw our danger card against a 2. Well, first of all, the bandit camp becomes a 6 now. That's not good. And a 2 means we are in bold, so we can't adjust it in order to sneak away. So we are going to have an encounter and a fight against 3 creatures. Let's draw our lowlands encounter. We will resolve this immediately. If we are outdoors in the lowlands, the encounter is Witchlights. If we had been indoors, it would have been a desecrated shrine. Witchlights, glowing green orbs, dance in the distance. Are those benevolent spirits come to guide you? Or a witch's trick sent to lead you astray? We can follow the witchlights or ignore them. If we follow them, it's a d6. 1 or 2 monsters have ambush, and that will basically deprive us of our power die unless we make a perception roll. 3 to 4, the party is detained. That means we don't go anywhere, which I'm kind of okay with because I think I want to rest again. And 5 to 6, place an explored counter on your space. There's already one there. We can roll a d6 if we ignore it. We roll a d6 if we roll a 4 or less, the danger level goes up. Well, we're going to fight, which will drive the danger level down, assuming we win. Our perceptions, for the most part, are pretty good. So, and what is it? Just 3 monsters, right? I think we're going to follow the Witchlights. So here we go. A 3 is we are detained. So we're going to have to rest next turn, and I'm okay with that. So a detained marker. A detained marker. We could actually just put that on the counter. And fatigue turns to detain. Is that true? I think it does. Oh, actually, of course it does, because if you can't move, of course you can't force march. So everyone's detained. We now fight 3 lowlands monsters. What is this doing out here? This should be discarded. The lowlands deck is getting kind of low. When it is depleted, we then shuffle the discards back into the deck, including these value 3 monsters with the yellow text that are more powerful. So we are dealing with a cultist. Seems like a nice generic kind of a red shirt fella. Looks summon. All right, so that'll add someone else to the battle. Attack of 3. No big deal. So the highest morale. The cultist does not like people who are happy. So that puts the cultist on the fugitive fop. We want to kill him first. Make sure he doesn't summon anyone. A vermis guard. Basically a rat. I know that fella is vermin. Our gourmet fishy confectioner can eat him. Horde, if there are any other vermin, his attack will be a 5 instead of a 4. Highest constitution, that will be the fishy confectioner. And then finally, a vermin, so that makes the vermis guard +1 with his horde ability. This is a ghoul. Ghouls are vermin? A ghoul has drain, meaning if he wounds you with his attack of 4, he heals himself up a point. And he goes after the highest strength, which is the fishy confectioner, right? I really miss my shoddy shield already. The Void Witch or the Fugitive Fop can go first. The Void Witch will go first with an assault against the cultist, who only has 4 hit points. We do not want the cultist to bring in reinforcements. The Void Witch is rolling against her agility, which is an 8. And there's no point using the Mystic Shield. There's no armor, so no point using Decay. So rolling against an 8. That is a success, but it only does 3 points of damage. But now the Fugitive Fop is defending with her agility of 8 and is firing the weighted pistol with her perception of 8. Let's unload these tranquilizer darts. If we were assaulting, we could use the Deadeye shot. A failed defense blocks 2 points of damage, and a failed attack does nothing. So blocking 2, we take 1 point of damage. Now that means it's going to summon someone, which I don't like. All right, more experience for us. Fine. The Fishy Confectioner will be defending with her agility of 7, attacking with her strength of 7, and the power die goes to defense. And we don't have that shoddy shield anymore. We'll take out, let's see, they both will take 5 points of damage, since the Vermis Guard is attacking with a 5, because the horde keyword triggers off of the ghoul, will attack the Vermis Guard. A failed defense, but we do block 6 points of damage. And a successful attack does 4 points of damage to the Vermis Guard, 1 point of armor. Yeah, it's only if we're in assault that the spiked maul ignores armor. Intercepts 1 point of damage and makes it a 3. Now, this 6 here will intercept all the damage from the Vermis Guard, which means the ghoul hits us for 4, which puts us at 5 wounds. If the ghoul had any wounds, the drain would remove one of the wounds from it. All right, the end of the first round of combat. The cultist summons a sex dwarf. Let's see, a sex dwarf taunts you, so it will go on to the person with the highest strength, which is the fishy confectioner, and must be attacked. Rally means sex dwarf comes with someone else. It only has an attack of 3. All right, rallying with the sex dwarf. A rat skink, more vermin to give the Vermis Guard his horde ability. Also has a horde ability. So this attack of 3 becomes a 4, and attacking the highest agility, let's see, do we want to put it on the Void Witch? I think we do. We do not, because we want the Fugitive Fop to be free of attacks and to start using the Deadeye shot. So yeah, we'll put it on the Void Witch instead of the Fugitive Fop. So the Void Witch will, let's actually start with the Fugitive Fop. She will be in guard mode using the weighted pistol, agility of 8, perception of 8. A hit intercepts all the damage and kills the cultist. Now the Void Witch, fire off the Mystic Shield. So the vermin is attacking with a 4. I don't want her to take any damage, so I'm going to guard this turn, which puts the power die there, and I am going to use the Mystic Shield, which rolls against a 9. The higher die is the number of wounds placed on the shield. Because if we can sit here, well, let's just see how that goes. The agility is 8, the magic is 9. Okay, so blocks 2 of the 4 points of damage. Fails spectacularly to throw up a Mystic Shield. So we take 2 damage. We go from 6 to 8. We now go to the Fishy Confectioner. Attacking with a 7, defending with a 7. The power die goes to defense. We will try to finish off the Vermis Guard. We successfully defended with a 4. We didn't attack anyone. So that means with the... Oh, shoot. I had to attack the Sex Dwarf. Anyway, sorry. That means that the 1 point of damage comes through from the Vermis Guard. And on to the next round of combat. Now our Fugitive Fop is free to assault, which lets her fire the weighted pistol using the Deadeye shot. All right, let's go ahead and use the tranquilizer darts and fire at the... Instead of using the tranquilizer darts, let's just shoot regularly. Let's get rid of this Vermis Guard, which is attacking with a 5, which I don't like. All right, so actually, do we need to defend her? She's in more immediate peril, and if we take out that rat skink, even if we daze it, if we take out that rat skink, she'll be free to use her assault attack. So we're actually going to use the weighted pistol with the tranquilizer darts and Deadeye shot in, I haven't been using these, my bad, in assault stance firing at the rat skink. So we don't need the defense dice. We're using our perception of 8. Terrible miss, all right? The Void Witch in guard mode will still try to power the Mystic Shield. Agility of 8, magic of 9. The defense roll with a 4 intercepts all the damage. We now put 3 wounds on the Mystic Shield. The Fishy Confectioner, defending with a 7, attacking with a 7. We must attack the Sex Dwarf because it is taunting us. We succeeded in defense, preventing 5 points of damage, which is what the Vermis Guard would have done. A 7 is a hit, 4 points of damage, kills a sex dwarf. I mean, seriously, who puts a sex dwarf in a fantasy game? I'll tell you who. Goblin Co. Goblin Co? The folks who made Dungeon Degenerates, that's who. And that was a guard. All right, next round of combat. Oh, did I wonder if my Deadeye shot could have turned the Fugitive Fop's failure into success. I need to keep an eye on that. We do not need to defend. We are in assault stance. Remember, we can swap this die with this die, which can do all sorts of fun things. So let's go ahead and attack the Rat Skink. I don't like the Void Witch being so close to death. We are attacking with a perception of 8. All right, well, we hit anyway. We did 6 points of damage, which will kill it. Now the Void Witch in assault mode, which will heal up a point if she destroys anyone, which I hope we're going to do by doing a point of damage on the Vermis Guard. We'll use assault mode. She is using her agility against the Vermis Guard, so that's an 8. That succeeds wonderfully and heals up 1 point of damage because it is a sacrificial dagger and she's a warlock. Which leaves the Fishy Confectioner with a defense of 7 and an attack of 7, going against the Ghoul, who will heal himself if he inflicts any wounds. Now, we do the defense first, which failed, but we use the 6 against it, so no damage gets through, and the attack fails. So that was the assault, and that was a guard. All right, next round of combat. Starting with the Fugitive Fop. Actually, let's just go ahead and have the Void Witch go first. Using her agility of 8 with a sacrificial dagger if she destroys... Oh. We're going to have the Fugitive Fop go first, because I would love the sacrificial dagger to heal her up another point of damage. So the Fugitive Fop firing with the tranquilizer darts at the Ghoul with an agility of 8, unfortunately kills it. So, sorry, Void Witch. And that puts the Witch Hill down to a 1. 1 point of experience, 1 point of gold for our Fishy Confectioner. 1 point of experience, 1 point of gold for our Void Witch, who is filthy rich with 15 gold. And also now filthy rich, as you would expect from a Fugitive Fop. 3 points of gold, 3 points of experience. There's the 3 gold from 13 to 16, the experience from 3 to 6. The Fugitive Fop's loot roll is a 3. Sweet. The Void Witch's loot roll is a 1. And the Fishy Confectioner gets 2 loot rolls. They're each a 1. Neither of those. So 1 piece of loot for our Fugitive Fop. Throwing knives. These could be fun. They basically let you make a reduced attack, and it basically lets you do 2 reduced attacks instead of 1 regular attack. Requires an agility of 6. Anyone here could use throwing knives. So in assault stance, if you hit with an attack, you inflict damage equal to your lowest attack die or your highest power die. All right, it's a little esoteric. If that is a hit, you may then attack again without a power die. So with a really high agility, this would be a lot of fun. And if you roll a 12 on your attack die, you can't use it again. So I think it's one-handed. This can be simultaneously equipped with any of the weapons we currently have equipped. Let's give it to... Thematically, it seems like a Fugitive Fop would be running around with throwing knives. All right, all these lowland creatures go into the discard pile. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Only 6 more lowlands cards, which I figure is good for maybe 2 encounters. Once we go through those... there's a ton of them. We then will have, all the knights. A Pain Knight, a Death Knight, a Murder Knight, and a Famine Knight will get folded into the Lowlands deck. And a Plague Knight, how can we forget him, along with an Invisible Stalker. These are, yikes. Yeah, attacks of 5 and 6, 3 points of armor. Of course knights have 3 points of armor. They're knights. All right, we are now going to... we don't resolve our encounter because those were the Witch Lights. We discard this. I think we're going to rest again. It is now super safe on Witch Hill. Yeah, we'll get some Witchweed, so we're going to do another rest in Bold Stance. We start with a recover roll for everyone. The Fugitive Fop will, so these will come off. The morale will go right back on if she fails her morale roll for recovery because she doesn't like camping outside. Her morale is 8. She succeeded and heals 8 points of damage. A recovery roll for the Void Witch. That means no longer fatigued and no longer demoralized from having to sleep outside. The Void Witch will no longer be detained. Her morale of 6. She only heals 3 points, so from 7 to 4. Maybe we can find some Witchweed. And now the Fishy Confectioner with a morale of 6. Oh, succeeds and goes from 6 to 0 wounds. That worked out very well. Now, since we're resting boldly, let's do a pick herbs action. We will use the Void Witch's Perception. She succeeds. She finds Witchweed, which we will then eat, which is a magic check, which is a 9. The lower die will be how much she heals up. That is a success. She heals 2 points of damage. So we found the Witchweed. We smoked it, ate it, whatever, rubbed it onto our wounds. And now everybody's looking in fine shape. We could also improve, but no one has experience points sufficient to do anything. So there we go. That was our rest action. Let's see how we do. The danger level at Witch Hill is 1. Oh, good Lord. All right. Oh, shoot a monkey.